Y'all, Halloween is only a few days away. So, as your favorite psychic medium, clairvoyant, I definitely have some ghost stories for you. Today, we're going to talk about the most haunted places that I visited this year. I've traveled between Galveston and New Orleans a countless number of times. As my psychic abilities and gifts increase, so does my visibility behind the veil. So that these places, both New Orleans and Galveston, Texas, are very, very haunted. Yes, it is true, but I'm going to tell you the primary difference between the ghosts that haunt these places. First, let's start with Galveston. Been there all of my life. Like I grew up, like that's just, a Sunday fun day, or it was back in the day for us. So I never noticed anything different other than the water, and water is spiritual in itself. So I never noticed anything different. But this particular time, which was about 4 or 5 months ago over the summer, I went on a full moon. And yeah, it was a very wild energy around the ocean at that time. Ghost and the paranormal activity was on high alert that night. Okay, you could feel the ghost, you could see them, almost smell them. And like I said, there is a difference between ghosts and spirits. The ghosts of Galveston were pretty much everywhere. They roam up and down the sidewalks, the beaches, the boardwalk. Like, even if you're walking the sidewalk alone in Galveston, I guarantee you, you are not. There is either going to be a ghost behind you, in front of you, near you, beside you, but they're not worried about you, so don't worry about it, okay? Because the ghosts that walk Galveston or hunt Galveston don't even know they're dead, most of them. A lot of them feel like drowned victims, some suicide victims, but typically drowned victims, they sometimes they don't even know. That's how spiritual water is, because they don't even know that they've passed on, right? So these ghosts are more like aimless wanderers. They really have no destination, they're just walking. The ghosts of New Orleans, the difference between them was that they wore very old, early 19th century clothes. Okay, and I visited New Orleans earlier this year around January. Like I said, they wore very old things. So this just led me to believe that they were stuck in time. This gives a vibe that New Orleans is trapped in time. And many people have said this, but I can physically see how. And come to find out, there were a lot of plagues that hit New Orleans, mass deaths that happened at least about 3 times early in the early 1900s, late 1800s, early 1900s in New Orleans. And it took out a lot of people. And those individuals are still there in the same clothes. So, anyway, y'all, I have a blog that is up now on my Patreon. You can gain access to it as a free or paid member, and it kind of goes into my story time. So, go check that out. You can also download a comprehensive haunted travel guide that'll help you navigate these portals, places, and entities. So head over to my Patreon.